Tonight, we highlight the motormen of law enforcement. We talk about Domestic Violence Awareness Month and the Jambalaya Jam. Yep, that's on the way too. But we'll kick it off talking about hurricane season. Roll it, Kyle. You know, a year ago, we were talking about the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. Personally, that was pretty bad. This year, we're kind of observers watching hurricanes damage other areas. So, Marissa Nuzzo with the Storm team is here with us to talk about hurricane season. So how do you grade this season so far?
Well, from a Louisiana perspective, we're getting pretty close to an A. I don't want to say that yet because season's not over, but woo, we are looking great so far.
Right.
I have some stats for you because just like you said, Ida was a little more than a year ago. We went through it, and we most recently watched Florida go through a very, very similar situation.
Yeah. It was pretty scary. You know, I remember watching, I was in Atlanta at the time, watching national news, and they were on the air talking about how you might be without power for a few days, stock up on water, and I'm thinking, man, how many times have we heard those same speeches given here by officials, and watching it happen there. Now, we've had a very rainy summer. It's better now. Does that contribute in any way to the lack of storms coming here?
Well, recently, the lack of storms have lined up with some drier weather, and those two things are related to each other.
Right.
When we were seeing that rainy pattern, that regular summer rain, it's definitely, I will call it, when it's rainy, it's like the gates are open.
Right.
Like things could sneak in to the Gulf if they wanted to, and they luckily just didn't. And since September, things have started to dry out. And most recently with Ian, we had a pretty robust cold front come through, and it really gave this thing almost a perfect right turn. It moved right off toward Florida, and we have continued to stay dry.
You know, one of the advantages of the technology that you guys in the Storm Center use with hurricanes is you have so much advance notice now versus technology, say 25, 30 years ago. So you give people so much notice to get out of the way and do what they need to do. Is that constantly improving? And do you think in the next decade it's going to be even better?
Yeah, I will say we have a ton of advance notice with things, and I can tell people, hey, with the information I have now, this is how you should react or this is how you should behave. But the thing that gets a little tricky is when the information changes, because weather, although we can forecast it maybe a week, 2 weeks out, based off what I know now, here's what I can tell you, but it changes. And so that's when things get a little tricky. I do think that the technology is improving, and we have, we as in the Weather Service, the National Hurricane Center, are getting more funding to go out and send the hurricane hunters out more frequently. Gather more data. That's really the best way to understand things. So we're learning more, we're doing things on a more frequent basis so that we can gather more data and bring people more updated information.
What are your thoughts on Hurricane Ian and the damage it caused through Florida?
I was just talking to some people in the newsroom about this earlier. Looking at the statistics of Ida compared to Ian, they're very, very similar. Maximum sustained winds with Ida were 150 miles per hour. With Ian, it was 155, so very, very similar. The minimum central pressure, very similar. Just looking at them on the satellite imagery, very similar. The difference is Florida's coastline is packed with high population cities where tons of people live there. It's like if we placed New Orleans where Grand Isle is. And I'm sure that just puts all kinds of pictures in your head of what that could have looked like.
Did you see the video or any of the pictures of the water in the Gulf and that it had been drawn in or pulled back? So what causes that?
Yes, so we talk about the minimum central pressure. The eye of the hurricane is, this is kind of weird, but you know, like when you flush the toilet and it goes down and it sucks water down really, really quickly? That's kind of what happens at the center of a hurricane. It is pulling in moisture and air so strong that it was literally pulling the water out of the Tampa Bay.
I could not imagine walking out of your house if you live on the coast and seeing no water in the Gulf. That would scare, oh my.
That should be red flag. Something is wrong. Something is wrong here, yes.
So, and we got less than a minute left for the duration of this season. Do you expect it to be a quiet finish to the 22 hurricane season?
I do. We're getting into that time of year where we get these cold fronts, really potentially life-saving cold fronts that come through weekly, 7 to 10 days or so. So if we continue to see those, we should be looking good.
You are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to that great weekend of nice weather. I'm going to Biloxi for cruising on the coast. I can't wait to do that. But let's talk about jambalaya next. That's a favorite subject. Back with it in just a moment. So Ashley Montanino is with the Capital Area United Way, and Jambalaya Jam is taking place next week. We'll get into that in just a moment. But I want to begin by talking about where we are. We just started the final quarter of 2022. It's just gone by like that, right?
Yes.
But you know, the Alice population that we always love talking about, kind of getting an update on where the community is, and it's not just here. You guys are 11 parishes, correct?
Yes, 10 parishes.
10 parishes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about how the city is doing with the economy, you know, health, whatever. What's happening with the Alice population?
Yes, so the Alice population is our North Star. It's who we serve in our 10 parish community. And Alice stands for asset limited, income constrained, yet employed. So these are folks who are one paycheck away. A lot of your hourly waged income individuals, and they're just one paycheck away. It could be a flat tire, it can be reduced hours, and we're trying to keep them from falling into poverty.
Right. Well, you know, with gas prices being as high as a giraffe's behind, I wonder how that impacts these families with trying to move around.
It does. Everything from gas prices to the food prices are high right now. You know, your food insecurity is at an all-time high. Thankfully, schools are back in session, and not like with COVID when individuals and children were at home and not getting those free and reduced lunches. That's where our United We Feed initiative was sort of born from COVID. And a simple thing like a produce box of food that can feed a family that they were not used to getting was a huge relief for them.
So how has the post-COVID reality impacted the way that United Way engages communities?
It has impacted greatly. It's really just talking to those individuals and finding out what is the need in the community. I know tax season, it will be arriving in January, but we're already gearing up for that. And that's part of our income stability initiative that we are help low to moderate income families with tax assistance and get those credits that they don't realize they get. That's money in the pockets of individuals.
Right. Let's talk about that, the tax initiative, a little bit more. Tell me more about that.
Yes. So our VITA program, it stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and it's a free tax preparation for low to moderate income families in our 10 parish region. And it's not only to help you get your tax refund and taxes for free, so you're not having to pay to get your taxes, but also wraparound services. So we offer financial coaching and financial help. So here you go, you get your tax refund. What do I do with this money? Do you need to help pay off loans? Do you need to open up a savings account? So we work closely with financial institutions to get those folks with that wraparound service.
How long have y'all been doing this?
Oh, VITA, we've been doing this for 10 plus years in our community. So it's a very prominent thing we do. We complete over 6,000 taxes, bringing over $8 to $9 million in taxes back into the community.
I think that's amazing. You know, it's so, I talk about this all the time, that we see crime on the rise across the country. And I think people often underestimate the value of investing in these poor communities to help people with some of the desperation that we see going on. And these programs all help. What about funding? How has funding been for some of your services since COVID?
Yeah, so COVID was, I think, a hard year for everyone, for whether it's corporations, and that hurts, you know, the nonprofit community because donations are not trickling in. We are seeing this year things are picking up, so we're very grateful for that. The more money we can bring in, the more money we can bring out in the community. But not only that, but the volunteer aspect of it. Folks are able to start getting out in the community and volunteer. And nonprofits, including Capital Area United Way, rely on our volunteers.
All right, let's talk about Jambalaya Jam. That's taking place next week. There it is on the 13th from 5 to 8 p.m. So tell me about it. And how many has this been? How many years have y'all been doing
this? Is our 35th year.
Wow.
35th year. This is our largest Jambalaya Jam to date. We have 55 cooking teams from different companies and organizations in our 10 parish area, 5 to 8. Not downtown Baton Rouge, so it's the same Live After 5 set up right there by the old state capitol in the library. 5 to 8, after 8 is the band that's playing. You can, for $15, we have a wide range of tickets, but for $15, all you can eat. You can sample, have fun.
So, okay, what's the most interesting addition to a jambalaya dish that you've seen?
Oh, we attend a lot of cook-offs. A lot of companies have cook-offs that in their winter comes to the Jambalaya Jam. We have had a vegan, an Asian, a vegan jambalaya, an Asian jambalaya. That was interesting too. We've had a few different.
I didn't hear a word you said after a vegan jambalaya.
Yes,
how is that even possible?
I'm not sure. It was different. It was a different.
Stop that! Don't do that. Vegan jambalaya.
Yes, a vegan jambalaya. Now at our Jambalaya Jam, no, it's only meat products, no seafood. We do not have any vegan jambalayas, but you know we may introduce that one year.
I mean, that's just a plate of rice.
Yes. It was interesting.
That's a shame. That's a shame. Well, that's going to be great. I might have to pass by there and see if y'all need any help with any of the judging out there.
Come judge, eat a lot. We also have a lunch to go, so if you can't come that night, if you're in downtown, stop by 11 to 1. You can pick up a to-go plate for jambalaya.
That's awesome. Thank you, Ashley, for coming in and sharing with us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, let's talk about a motorcycle competition that's taking place right here in Baton Rouge. It should be pretty amazing, and we'll talk to Sergeant Marco Leblanc about it next. So next week, Cabela's is going to sound like a horsepower heaven, as there's going to be a motorcycle competition with law enforcement officers. Sergeant Marco Leblanc with the Baton Rouge Police Department in the traffic division is here with us to talk about this. So next Tuesday through Saturday, and going into break, I said Baton Rouge, but it's actually in Gonzales.
That's correct.
And tell me about this competition. What takes place there?
So we gather motor officers from all over the country. They pay an entry fee to come participate in our training event.
Yeah.
We raise money to donate to the Dream Day Foundation. So we work in conjunction with Dream Day.
Yeah.
But it's a training event. Like I said, people come from all over the country to compete in this training event, and it's for a great cause.
Yeah, we had a ton of pictures from some of the competition. So what exactly are you judging in the competition?
We have several events.
Okay.
We have a couple of speed events where it's a timed event. You know,
Yeah.
the fastest time wins.
Yeah.
Then we have some slow events to where the slowest time wins.
Okay.
And then some challenge events that's just random exercises that people are tasked to perform. You know. And
Yeah, you know, people I'm sure love to come and see this because it's a great thing to watch. The fact that the money is going to St. Jude is even better. It's an even better reason to participate. So what about people who may want to come out and watch the competition? Can people do that?
Absolutely. It's a great time for the public to come out and kind of interact with officers at a personal level. You know, It's not, you know, it's next Tuesday through Saturday, the
Yep.
11th through the 15th.
Yep.
The big days are Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is a lot of practice preparing for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
But the public is welcome every day, and it's a great event for them to come
Well,
watch.
for people who don't realize how essential motormen are and motor women too, they're women who ride, but how essential that is to what you do. Talk about that. What service you provide to the public with Cops on Motorcycles?
Yeah, so we can react really fast to situations, like stuff on the interstate that maybe a police car can't get to.
Right.
And then the stuff that we handle off duty, funeral escorts
Right.
and stuff like that, taking care of the family, in their time of need.
How many people are in the traffic division?
We have about 50.
50, right? And so, if someone wants to do that, because I know the department has a recruiting campaign going on right now. If somebody's interested in doing that, they can kind of go through the training. How long is the training to be able to be turned loose on a motorcycle out in the public?
Yeah, so it's an 80-hour mandatory course that you have to go through, and then the training beyond that's about 4 to 6 months before you're actually.
And like you said, everything from the escorts, because that's normally where you see motorcycles when
Right.
there's a funeral escort. Every now and again, you'll run into them on the streets, but I don't think I see them as much as I used to back in the day.
Yeah, we're kind of short-staffed. You
Yeah.
know. Years ago, when I first came in, we had more of us, but we're starting to build back up.
Lieutenant Coppola is in here, and he was a motorman. I heard you trying to talk him back into doing that again.
It'd take a lot.
It'd take a lot.
Getting back,
He and Gino are enjoying where they are. Look,
Right.
in the last minute here again, let's recap. So next Tuesday through Saturday at Cabela's in Gonzales.
That's
if
right.
the public wants to come out and watch, you're saying it's better to come towards the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really Friday,
Friday,
are
Saturday.
the big days. But they're welcome every day, They'll be able to come out and watch us practice the first 3 days.
So how do we do here locally at BRPD versus the rest of the country when we compete?
We usually do really well.
That's what I want to hear.
So, this is our 22nd annual event. So, in the past 21 years of it, we've raised roughly $1 million.
So think about it this way, folks. When you go out to the event, the money they raise is directly helping families at St. Jude, and I think that's amazing, so amazing. Let's talk a little bit about something else that's amazing. Twahna Harris with the Butterfly Society is going to be here in studio to talk with you about Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and that is next. So happy to have my good friend Twahna Harris here with the Butterfly Society. Going to get into Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but first, next week on the show, we're going to have some folks here from St. James Parish talking about a chemical plant that's moving into the area. Many of the citizens don't want it, but the city decided to let it happen. A very fascinating story. I learned about it from Eugene Collins, and he'll be here next week with some of those residents to talk about that. And over Twahna's shoulder, you see the picture of Devin Page Jr., and we always like to remind viewers that we keep his picture on this set because we are looking for justice for this baby. It's been since April that he was killed lying in his bed, and all the conversation about so many other shootings in Baton Rouge, we're really big and pushing to find justice for this child, and not just Devin, but every victim of violence across our community and really across our country. And speaking of victims of violence, the Butterfly Society is one of the more preeminent nonprofits that deal with domestic violence, working with survivors and their families. So for someone who may not have heard about the Butterfly Society, tell the public what it is.
We're a nonprofit domestic violence organization. We were established in 2014. We're in our 8th year. We are painting the city purple as well in Domestic Violence Month. myself being a survivor, met so many other survivors along the way and just felt the need to create an organization that filled in the gaps that were there. We provide resources, services, from utility assistance, rental assistance, temporary lodging. We help with car payments, car insurance. We provide legal services as well. We partner with Southern University Domestic Violence Law Clinic, case management, referral, information, safety planning, support group, counseling. We do it all.
In the last couple of years, really since COVID, we've seen these huge spikes in domestic violence cases. And in conjunction with that, because of the pandemic, so many survivors or victims of this violence were not able to go anywhere else because so many places were shut down. Tell me how that's going right now.
How it's going? It's still going. Before COVID arrived, Clay, we had a crisis on our hands.
Yeah.
Of course, COVID didn't help the situation, but we are still seeing women and men losing their lives due to domestic violence here in our city of Baton Rouge. We also are finding more victims who are homeless with children living in their vehicles. We have a crisis. It's an ongoing crisis, but as an organization, along with so many others, we're here providing those resources and services. Last week we had an event, a call to men.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to Tony Porter, the gentleman who visited LSU sometime this year, and he was saying to the male athletes in the audience that, you know, it's time for men to take a stand. It's time for men to stand up, because many times what you find are females on the front line, whether you're a survivor, whether you're an advocate, or a domestic violence agency on the front line fighting for justice for victims, survivors, resources. We need men standing with us, shoulder to shoulder. They have the influence, they have the platform, and we need them to use it. We need them to take this message into their spaces, educating, bringing an awareness, engaging, empowering other men that, look, it's wrong, it's not right. There's nothing right about a male putting his hand on a female.
Yeah.
So we need you to take a stand. We need you to hold each other accountable. We need you to become change agents and advocates in your community, speaking to young men about respect and what love is. So we're hoping this message is conveyed during this event, that men will say, yes, I stand with you now. And not stand just because it's your daughter, but we need you standing for somebody else's daughter.
You know, a couple of weekends ago, I had the pleasure of emceeing your gala that took place here in Baton Rouge, and I had a conversation with an elected official after the fact, and he was talking to me about how in the room there are probably a lot of people who would love to speak up or ask for help, but they're afraid because of the stigma that goes with it. Has that improved at all? Because I think in 2022, we should be more open and available for people to reach out to say, hey, there's a bad situation in my house.
We're on the right track. We're getting there, Clay, but you still run into those barriers where people believe that what's happening in someone else's household is not my business, it's their business. And working towards, you know, their business at some point could possibly be yours. You can find yourself in that situation. And would you not want someone to speak for you if you were there when you can't speak for yourself? So we are getting there. It's a slow process, but we're on the right track to getting people to stand up and speak out. Well,
you've talked about, I got less than a minute, but you've talked about how a lot of the money you raise is for relocating families, getting them out of the house. So I got 30 seconds. Tell me how people can donate to the Butterfly Society.
They can go to, we have a Cash App, the Butterfly Society, all one word, Cash App, and Venmo, the Butterfly Society, and PayPal as well, the Butterfly Society at gmail.com. All proceeds brought into the organization goes back out into the community.
Absolute rock star. I say it about you all the time. Twahna Harris with the Butterfly Society. All right, folks, you get out and enjoy your weekend. Remember the message that you heard here today. It's not right. Men can stand up for it too. See you next week right here on The Clay Young Show.